Cisco Firepower and HashiCorp's Terraform series, infrastructure as code, focusing on day 0 and day 1 deployments. We're going to create a NAT policy with some manual NAT rules. All right, let's just jump right into it. Let's go to Terraform's code that DevNet has shared with the community, and let's have a look here. So we've got some objects that we're going to reference, both security zones and network objects. We'll create that NAT policy, and then we've got some manual NAT rules. You can see there's a variety of options here where they're putting placements, there's static NAT rules, and then there's some output at the end. But let's take that and let's modify it for our needs. Again, we'll look at var.tf. There's our variables. We'll look at terraform.tfvars, which is the data supporting the variables. And then we'll jump to main.tf and break this down. So we're going to reference some security zones and a network object. So we're going to pull that automatically from Firepower and use them. And so we're going to create a couple of objects as well. So we're going to create a internal IP and an external IP that we're going to NAT to. And then we've got some output from that. We'll create that policy, that NAT policy with nothing in it, and then we'll add those rules to that policy. So the first rule here is DMZ security zone to outside security zone, original source using the internal IP of the host, and a destination is going to translate that to an external IP address. And that's it. We'll do some output and be done with it. Now, you can do a little bit more around what you're natting with manual NAT as an example, the destination. We're not doing that here. I'm just keeping it pretty clean and simple. We'll go ahead and apply after we've done that initialize. Here's all the additions. We have an opportunity to say no here. We're going to say yes. We're going to plow through this and let Terraform create that manual NAT policy. Again, this is an example. Leverage what you see in GitHub and then modify based on your needs. All right, we'll refresh. There we go. We've got a policy in place. Now let's see if there's any rules inside there. Let's go ahead and hit edit and look at that. Static DMZ to outside zone. There's my internal IP address. Destination is interface. Translated sources is interface, and then that external IP for destination. So you can see here. In fact, I would change this to actually say translated source is actually the address itself. But you get the idea. Pretty easy stuff to do, simple modifications, deploy it. Now, if you didn't like this or the rule wasn't exactly like in my case, the rule wasn't exactly what I wanted. I did a typo or something and I lost track of where I was. I can very quickly come in and destroy. Now, this is just showing you the audit and tracking of the creation of those objects in that policy. But I can very quickly destroy what I've done. And then modify the main.tf, make the changes needed, and then go ahead and move forward and push that again and make sure that the outcome is based on my needs. So we're going to go ahead and destroy this one. And we're doing the auto approve, so it's going to automatically come through. Pretty close to being done. Let's see here. Yes. So it's destroying it now. Well, still destroying. Remember, this is on an Intel NUC with a whole bunch of other VMs on it. But it still runs pretty good for what I have running on it. We'll do a quick refresh and policy gone. Pretty simple.